BBS. BBS. Black Burke Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.
REED-BBS, BBS. Hide the women and children. Yeah, hide the women and children. In the end, Tszyu's maiden voyage as an American pay-per-view headliner, it was a mess. It was a bloody fucking mess. Throwback fighter, throwback fighter, throwback fighter. It sounds good. Fighters aim for that. They strive for that. It's a cool sounding narrative. But what do you do with the throwback fighter when he loses? You throw him back. Tszyu USA, throwback fighter. He's keeping it old school. We don't need to throw him back for this loss, for damn sure. There's sometimes you lose and sometimes there's circumstances to a loss. If the goal was to leave an impression upon American fans, that box has been checked. No one that saw this fight will forget the spectacle of the blood from both fucking men. That shit was messy. One of them fights where you fucking regret sitting ringside or even 2-3 rows ringside. Yeah, you got sprayed this night. No doubt about it. DNA everywhere. Blood plasma everywhere. Back in the day, a small part of me thought I might want to be a referee, but then the blood, the DNA, and the snot, and the sweat, yeah, hard no. Hard as fuck no. Harvey Dock is probably reassessing and contemplating his refereeing life right now as we speak. Little DMX for your ring walk music never hurts. I see you, Tszyu. I see you, Tszyu. The Southpaw Orthodox dynamic is such that a clash of heads is fairly routine in boxing. You're at least on the lookout for it. But in this case, with Tszyu and Fundora, the height difference was so unusual that we got an unusual clash of head to elbow because Tszyu's head is closer to the location of Fundora's elbow than it was to the location of Fundora's head. Funny? Not funny. I'm not sure exactly what round it was, but my thinking shifted from surely they're gonna stop this motherfucking bleeding to surely this motherfucker's about to run out of blood. Tszyu was timing and touching Fundora pretty well in the first round. Caught him with a nice long lead right hand. Measuring jab and lead right hands from Tszyu. Other times just 1-2s, more of a pawing jab and a right hand, or just a flat out lead right hand to the head and body from Tszyu. A plethora, a multitude, a cornucopia of right hands landed on Fundora in the second round, fucking his nose up something majorly. Tszyu snuck in a counter left hook just because over Fundora's southpaw right jab, just because, just to show him how much he could touch and time him. Literally, as the bell rings to end round 2, they engage and bam, shit happens. Just 2 rounds in, the lower half of Fundora's face is completely red and Tszyu is leaking blood like a high pressure fucking water faucet with red fluid coming out of it. Freakiest of freak accidents. The freakiest. Like it was all Tszyu. Fundora was an open book for him until he wasn't. Winner via the people's elbow, Sebastian, the towering inferno, Fundora. Is there a cut man in the house? Cut man? Is there a cut man in the house? More blood than a fucking vampire convention. More blood than a building full of menstruating women. Fundora swallowed more blood than Dracula on prom night. There's no apologies for winning. But what we do know is Earl Spence ain't 147 pounds no more. Getting KO'd in his last fight just might have been the best thing to ever happen to Sebastian Fundora for this fight, because he was not excited or antsy, or he just kept it calm and composed. He just stayed behind his jab after seeing all the blood on Tszyu. Could have been the fact he got knocked out, or it could have been the fact his fucking nose was broken and he didn't want to get touched in his face too much. Tszyu kept trying. Admirably, he kept trying. Never quit. Just kept on trucking. But it was an uphill-ass battle, man, against a late replacement. A 6'5" late replacement. A 6'5" southpaw late replacement. A 6'5" southpaw late replacement. While you're blinded, can't see out of your fucking eyes. Yeah, uphill battle. Even with hindsight being 2020, you just know that Team Tszyu regrets ignoring the multitude of roadblocks and obstacles, the cornucopia of signs pointing to the fact that they should have aborted this mission before stepping into the ring. Hindsight is 2020, but props to Fundora. A win is a win, and it's cool that him and his sister became the first brother-sister duo in boxing history to become world champions. But this was an inadvertent victory. An inadvertent victory. Like Spike Lee, if we do the right thing, Tim Tszyu gets an immediate rematch. Errol Spence crashed the party, got in the ring after the fight to let it be known he wants next. And that's the fight PBC wants next as well, is Spence for Fundora. The WBO wants Bud Crawford to be next. I mean, he did already petition for it as a reigning champion at a lower weight class, so he's the mandatory per the WBO. To me, just to little old me, I think Bud would be the biggest money fight. He's got the biggest win in recent memory, the Spence win. Spence, I don't see how he could be a bigger name, a bigger money-making entity for Fundora or Tszyu in light of that. But what the fuck do I know? REED-BBS, BBS, Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Televisión, Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.